Remember the county official out of Las Vegas County we talked about who has been arrested for murdering the reporter, the investigative reporter that exposed his corruption? Well, they are now trying to remove this guy. So let's put up his picture. Let's put up the pictures of the individual who is the elected official named Robert Tellis, and the investigative journalist who he killed according to the allegation, Jeff German. All right, Jeff German is on the right. Let me remind you of their history and potentially what led to the murder of Mr. German. Tellis lost a Democratic primary election in June, due in part to the investigative stories about his conduct in office. The investigative journalist had been covering an alleged inappropriate relationship Tellis was carrying on with a state coordinator, Roberta Lee Kennett. Both Tellis and Lee Kennett are married. German had also been reporting on alleged bullying and favoritism under the supervision of Tellis. The investigative reporter, German, also reported that there was a follow-up story that was about to happen, that was about to come out. Then, according to the allegation, Mr. Tellis decided to dress up like this and commit murder. Okay, now I want to say this for the record. The other stories were already out. The other stories had already hit. He had already lost his Democratic primary. He was still an elected official until the term expired, okay? I submit this. I don't believe that this elected official killed the reporter because of what the reporter already exposed. I do not believe he killed this reporter out of spite or revenge. I think he killed the reporter because of the next story that was about to drop. That's what I believe. Now, the update, Clark County has released this statement on Tuesday regarding booting Tellis. They need to get him out of office now. Here's the update. It says, regarding public administrator Robert Tellis, Clark County. Clark County has taken the first step in asking the court to remove Robert Tellis from elected office as the public administrator. In filing with the court at the direction of Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson has set the process in motion. The next step would be for the court to take action and declare that Robert Tellis has neglected to perform the official duties of the office and to remove him. Upon the court's order, Clark County would be able to formally appoint his replacement until voters elect a new public administrator this November. All right. He's still getting paid, and he makes what, $130,000 a year? He's still getting paid while being incarcerated for murdering a reporter in his same district. This is just the first step in a process. Tellis has continued to collect his salary behind bars. He has been in custody since September 7th. In addition to this, Clark County DA Steve Wolfson has said he will determine in the coming weeks whether Tellis will face the death penalty. This is a death penalty potential, okay? In court Tuesday, Tellis only spoke in acknowledgement of the charges. He wore shackles, handcuffs, but no longer had bandages on his forearms from his post-arrest suicide attempt. He will appear in court October 26th for the prelim. This is going to be a highlight of evidence to determine if he should stand trial in state court. There's plenty of evidence here. Let me remind you of the evidence. You saw that outfit. Let's put it back up for people to review. You see that? See the hat, the shoes? When police came to his home, he had that same hat cut up into small pieces. He also tried to cut up the shoes as well. He did not hide them. The fact that they were cut into small pieces inside of his home is actually more problematic than if the cops found a hat that looked the exact same at his house. One is simply circumstantial. A defense attorney can argue that there are 20,000 of these hats made in America a year. But why cut it up? Now you have evidence of a guilty conscience. You have a symbolism of cover up right there in front of you. So he has been arrested, I do believe, and conclude personally that he did it. Sharon, what are your thoughts to this saga?
Of course he did it. And I like the way you kind of teed it up. Why did the journalist have to die when he already had lost the election and was still sitting relatively pretty? And by the way, the mistress, boy, did she dodge a bullet. But this one is so fascinating to me. The details, the lying in wait, the horrific personal stabbing. I would hire a forensic accountant. That's where I would start if I was the investigative team, to find out what else was going down there, things you might have to pay back even when you're out of office.
Yeah, and at this point, and this being a journalist yourself, the police, they have to find out what story possibly created this incentive, so to speak, for him to commit this criminal act.